So in terms of the dimensions, we are looking to 5 dimensions of AI literacy. First, understand AI. Second, learn how to use it. Third, evaluating it. So see when it is a good time to use it, for what purpose. Number 4, my area, collaborating with AI, right? So that AI will help us rather than de-skill us. And last but not least, practicing AI ethics. Right? So these are 3 things we are looking to. Now, at NIE, we are offering many courses in AI for education for our school educators. So this framework is guiding us on what our curriculum should provide for our school teachers. So this is when AI is coming out, it is a very interesting phenomenon. Previously, when we are doing professional development, usually teachers have higher knowledge, more experience than teachers. Now, teachers and students, they are learning at the same time. Because maybe next week, there is another new AI technique. So this also changed the ecology of the professional development of the teachers. So previously, we also had novice teachers and experienced teachers. Actually now, same, they are learning at the same time, same pace. So this changed the power relationship a little bit. But we do this is an all new professional development model for researchers translation. So when we are looking to our curriculum in AI for education, we are also thinking about this. Which part in higher education should we highlight more? Which part maybe some other professional development curriculum or modules already available so that we don't have to duplicate our efforts? Sorry, my slides don't come. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
yeah, it works. Thank you. Yeah. So this is another area we are looking into. So on top of that, what we teach, right? Are we teaching students what they should have in to prepare them for the future? Yeah. I think this year there was a publication talking about with the AI, how knowledge workers shift the nature of their work. And in that literature, they are trying to map against with the nature of a knowledge work with the Bloom's taxonomy, which is very familiar with educational researchers. So at the lower cognitive level, previously, knowledge workers were doing a lot of information gathering. So we search the info online, right? We Google it. Then in the future, even the currently, actually, when we are using the Google searching or any other search engine, the first part is always AI, right? So our role become information verification. We verify how reliable this kind of AI output. We also need to think whether the integration is good or not. Sometimes we need to go to the original source to verify. At the middle level, previously we are doing a lot of problem solving. Now AI is also trying to do the problem solving for us or suggest the ways of problem solving for us. So in the future, again, actually we are doing AI responses integration rather than do the problem solving ourselves. So even sometimes I was asked to teach a new topic because my colleagues was, give a birth in advance. So they said, next week, please cover her duty of teaching. And I think what's the topic? They said, AI ethics. Wow, okay. So I know what is AI ethics, but if I'm teaching a group of students, I need to do a lot of more preparation. So this is a problem for me, right? So then I'm using the AI Copilot to co-generate the lesson plan with me. So it is an AI response integration. At the high level, we do a lot of task execution, but in the future, AI will do it. but our role, we oversee, we monitor AI, we give instruction to AI. So this is the future work, nature of the future work. In our current teaching, are we preparing students for this type of work, or are we still get our students to do this type of work? So that's another thing for the educators and the researchers' consideration, what we teach and learn. 21st century competencies we have talked about for a long time. This kind of things is 21st century competency. But are we incorporating this in our teaching and the learning? If we want to incorporate where they are in those framework. So I think currently many governments, they are also looking to this kind of issue. So in Singapore's context, we put it as a digital literacy. Under the digital competency framework, there's one part about AI literacy. Yes, AI literacy, including this as well. Okay, so next is about how, right? Just now I have two slides about what. The first word is about AI literacy. The second, are we preparing our students for future work? How? I think this is the first time AI, we feel it is one technology, but this technology is very different from previous technology because this technology has agency. Agency means what? They can do something which sometimes to our surprise, either very well or not well at all. So, but it can afford personalized learning and a skill means previously personalized learning, how to do it. We hire private tutor, we go to tuition, right? I think Korea, Singapore, very high percentage of students need to go to the tuition on top of the schooling, right? Okay. So previously personalized learning is not for everybody. Now with AI, it could be at scale. They are previously unimaginable. So with AI, we need to understand the individual learners' learning based on how they interact with AI and also provide the personalized instructions, feedback, and the learning pathways for learners. So using AI to teach students is nothing new, right? The ITS, Intelligence Tutoring System, has been there for long. By the way, AI for education is not a new area. AI for education has been there for many, many years, and it has gone through winter period before ChatGPT was out. Right now is I don't know, it's a spring or summer, maybe evergreen. We don't know it. Yeah. So, but currently, yes, this is the first time it will really go to a scale, right? So we are looking to how we teach and learn. In general, there are a few types of AI for education pedagogy. So for example, learning companion. Learning companion is how we interact with AI to learn together. Automated assessment feedback, how students, how the AI provider real-time instant feedback to learners. Adaptive learning system, and also AI-powered learning analytics. So this is not exhaustive. This is just a typical areas of AI for education pedagogy. So this is about, as a teacher, how I teach, right? So with this kind of pedagogy, we are able to teach better so that our students can learn better. And the main purpose is to have personalized learning at a scale. Yeah, this is what we are aiming for. So hope everybody, all our students, they have a good learning experience and environment with the help of AI. So I think this part, yeah, we all know AI won't replace human, but those people who know how to use AI effectively, they are going to replace those people who are not able to use AI effectively. Yeah. So now, I think maybe 2 years ago, when we are doing the university-wide professional development for professors, I think many of them, they are still very, a bit lag behind. Means they are very has missed it. They don't want to join. Yeah, they wait and see. Although some of them they are against. I think now, 2 years later, looks like there's still this group of professors, I believe, but the percentage is lower and lower because we realize AI can augment human intelligence and the capability. So we need to use AI as the tool to help us to augment our capability. Augment means not replacement. Augment means previously without AI, I'm not able to reach there. Now with AI, yes, I can be higher and higher. So the key idea, human-centered AI art. Usually, when we are trying to advocating certain things, it means in reality, it is not practiced very well. Actually, I believe now, human-centered AI for education, it is what learning scientists is trying to advocate. Because we have seen so many ridiculous AI use cases. Yeah, I do have another professor from our computer science college come to me. They said, I want to have an AI student AI so that in the future, our children don't have to learn. So is this going to make our life better? I think, yeah, no need to learn. Every people is playing. I think, is this a better life, right? So it's quite against what we are believing, right? So I found is this kind of a fundamental philosophy. I found I'm not able to collaborate with this professor because deeper belief is very different. Yeah. So we still, AI should empower human rather than mechanize and de-skill them. So, and again, what does mean? Do you think AI makes us sometimes very stressful now? Because of faster pace. Previously, maybe we are expecting this type of work. Maybe it takes the whole department of our research group 1 week to do. But now, do you think we have a shorter expectation of a time period for that piece of work is shorter now? Yeah, this AI is a longer term impact of our everyday lives. So in the current survey, OECD survey, sympathies using AI percentage very high, stress level is high. AI save their time for some things, but there's a higher expectations for them to use AI for teaching innovation. And this part eating them more time and add more stress. Yeah. So in the processes of using AI for teaching and learning, I think, yes, we need to pay attention to this area. Sometimes it's a processes. When we know how to deal with it, we can be better and better. But again, we need to pay attention to this. This is a longer term kind of impact of AI, not just for teaching and learning, but for human life. So, and as a learner, as a human being, we need to be aware of the capability and the limitation of the AI, the role AI plays in our learning, and how much they should rely on them. So this framework is also NIE researchers and the Ministry of Education of Singapore, we have an integrated framework and learn about AI. Learn how to use AI. Learn with AI. Learn beyond AI. So many people was asking us, Young AI is in our AI for education framework. Because learn beyond AI, we are looking into certain things. Looks like they are not directly related to education, but it is related. But the effect not only you are visible to us in a longer run. Yeah. So what is the education? Right? Education is not just about cognitive learning. It's not just about learn a new concept. Education is about empowered. We get empowered. We become better version of ourselves. It's not just about the knowledge, cognitive knowledge. It is also about our social emotional learning. It is about our psychological well-being, physical health. It is about happiness. It is about human flourishing at the end. So that is education. So we also need to pay attention to this area, learn beyond AI. Okay, so next I will share with you some of the things we are doing. So learn about AI, learn to use AI. Actually, it will be easier to address. Yeah, I think so far, many of the universities are doing this very well. Just share with you what we are doing in this area. So it is about to learn how to use AI to augment our work. Sorry, there is a sound here, but basically, it's okay. Let's save time. Not able to hear clearly. This is a fake me. We are using, you think it is, the photo is from my website. I'm not able to hear, but they talk really like me. You know, what we are doing here? Yeah, usually I won't be so. This is a tool friendly, okay? Yeah, we are using deepfake technology to create video lessons. So yeah, so at my university, we are doing a lot of flip learning. So flip learning means what? We need to record a lot of video. So this is the course I was teaching for our NTU's compulsory course for PhD program. All the PhD students, there is a compulsory course for them. AI literacy. So I was recording one lesson for them. And it is a half an hour video lecture, but I was there for 2 hours because NTU hired some kind of producer, studio team. Yeah, and I was telling them, that's not sustainable. Who is going to spend 2 hours to record a lesson? They are asking me, Dad, what did you do? I think I would just put my phone there on my table. I just talk about it. But with this, in the future, I do not need to record any lesson. I just focus on my PPT and script. It saved me a huge amount of time. So if you came to Singapore to my university, you see there was the icon building. Actually, that is a learning building rather than teacher building. So we are giving a lot of flipped classroom approach of learning. So this is one way. Yeah. So and more faculties are adopting this way. So it is also about a human AI collaboration, right? Why? Let them do some kind of a lower level work. Actually, they can do it very well so that it can free us time and effort to do more higher value added work. So, but we need to learn how to use it. Okay, some other examples. This is also from my own research project. Yeah. So, do we know how to use AI to help us better understand the students' holistic learning experiences? Do we know how we use AI to generate actionable insights for us? So we are with AI, previously a large amount of data. My research team has been in computer-supported collaborative learning for very long. So previously, it is very hard for us to process very large amount of multimodal data. So now it is very easy, I would say. And my team likes to do a lot of process-oriented learning analytics. Process-oriented means how we talk to each other, whether our talk is meaningful, and what are the hurdles, what are the pivotal moments, make our team successful or fail. So my team has been doing that kind of research for very long. So with AI, we are able to do this kind of a multimodal learning analytics. For example, in our classroom setting, we are able to analyze people's body movement, gesture, eye gaze, speech, facial expression, and physical movement, mobility. Yeah. So all this, we are able to use AI to do it. So some of my team's research project, just give you some examples on what we are doing. So this is for what? Actually, this is just a video. We are not able to hear what they are talking about, but from the gesture and the movement, we are able to understand and engage or not. And I do have a co-PI who is a gesture analysis expert. She's not an AI expert. She's not in technology, but she understands what kind of gesture means what for learning. I found, wow, and I have such colleagues, great people. Previously, I didn't know her, but I read her paper. I think, oh, yeah, that's what I'm really looking for. Because what is scary for us? AI scientists, usually they do the learning analytics based on what? Based on what data is available, based on what we have, what is convenient for us. But some of the indicator proxy is not meaningful proxy or indicator. Right? Learning science goes through the other way. We want to find out that this is meaningful, that is meaningful, but AI scientists, but you don't have data. Right? So we need to have some kind of a middle ground, trying to bridge a little bit. Okay, so we also do this. So what is this? This is joint attention. Joint attention means what? So my team, I also do a lot of movement, eye tracking study, but many teachers, they are telling us, Professor, you have that equipment, we don't have it. So I think I was telling them, don't worry, I do have a platform. As long as you upload your video, I will generate the joint attention. Joint attention means what? As long as we are looking, both learners are looking at one common area, it is a joint attention. And the literature has shared with us, the higher the joint attention, the higher the interdependence. So interdependence means it is a collaborative learning. It is not cooperative learning. So my team has done a lot of this kind of things. So recently I'm doing, I think just last week, we got a new paper accepted. It's about the inter-brain synchrony. So I'm doing the apnea's data analysis. So if my collaborator and me, both of us, one, my brain activity is high, brain activity is high, which means we have a synchrony, or both are lower, it's also have a synchrony. That type of research is also very challenging. We submitted the paper 2 years ago. Many journals, they don't know whether this fits with their journal. Learning scientists say, this might be go to the neuroscience. Then the neuroscience journals say, this may go to a learning journal. I think, then, looks like an AI journal said, your AI algorithm is not complicated enough. I think, this is challenging for interdisciplinary project, right? So yes, I've gone through big route. So at the end, it is get accepted. Actually, I didn't make a lot of changes for the paper. Just I think there's a new area, emerging area, but I think I don't mind. New area, I think I can afford this kind of risk. We see how. And I believe there are going to be more and more journals be more open-minded about this type of research. Okay, so to visual experience. So this is some other areas my team is looking to. Emotional learning. The challenge is technology. Actually, there was many existing technology can help us understand that they are human emotion, be it whether it's accurate or not is another thing. But that's the fundamental things. Human emotion. What does it mean for learning? Epistemic emotion is what we are talking about. But epistemic emotion is different from this type of emotion. This type of emotion we can use AI to detect. Epistemic emotion, currently we are not able to use the facial recognition technique to do it. Now, what we are doing is using discourse analysis. So we are also trying to look into affected computing AI to look into that area. But I do hope in the future, we have a way using facial expression to detect people's epistemic kind of emotion. I think that is, we don't have a good solution, my team. Yeah. So I'm also looking for collaborators. If anybody have a good solution, wow, great, let's collaborate. So this area, I feel if there are some solution, it was going to make a great contribution to the AI-powered emotional learning in the future. Okay. So how much time do I have? Let me speed up a little bit. Okay. So this is now let's talk about learn with AI and learn beyond AI. This is a deeper water in this area. Yeah, deeper water means not easy to do it. So we are looking to how to collaborate with AI. But when we are looking into this area, we also find it's very challenging for us. It's not just at the researcher end, it is at practitioners, educators, and students themselves. Many of them, they associate learning with AI for performance. They said, AI is very good because AI can help me with a better quality of work to get more higher score. But that is not learning. Learning is a process. Learning is a knowledge construction processes. So what we are looking to is here. It's hard to convince people to change their mindset. So I will talk about this over-reliance. I think over-reliance issue, I think we all know what is the issue here. This is an MIT study, right? MIT study means immediately looks like those people who are working with AI, they have a better performance than those people who are not working with AI. But a few months later, actually things changed. A few months later, they gave a similar task. And previously, who are using AI, actually, they get a poorer performance than those people who didn't use AI previously. So it means they offload. They get some kind of offloading. There were so many papers working in this area. So what shall we do with this? So I think currently, the existing generative AI tool, the problem is that they are trying to provide a whole solution at once. Sometimes inaccurate, weak contextual understanding. They follow those instructions rigidly, not actively follow students' learning progress online. So what can we do as a learning scientist? We can fine-tune, right? I'm sorry, the time left is, okay, I'll skip this one. Okay, let's talk about this. What is this? That's from Confucius, right? Confucius. There are 8 Chinese characters. Actually, it means what? We feel this kind of design principle works very well in the generative AI era. It means Confucius was saying, as an educator, don't jump out too fast to help our students. The first Chinese character, let them think and they become even very angry with themselves. They're still not able to figure out. Now is the right time for educator to come out to help them. The last of our Chinese character means we want our students to articulate their ideas. They are trying and they're trying. They even almost come out of their mouths, but they are getting stuck. That's the right moment we intervene to help them. So this kind of overarching design principle works so well now. Generative AI, don't jump out too fast. But how do we do it? That's another thing. Okay, skip this. So I'm doing lab-based experiments. We are fine-tuning AI. Fine-tuning means we are giving instructions to generative AI. AI need to follow our instruction and rules to interact with our students. So with this, we have 3 conditions. No AI condition. AI direct condition means no fine-tune. We just use normal ChatGPT. AI assistant, we have embed the Confucius design principle in that. So we want to see this tool have a different level of human agency. AI director, very minimum human agency because AI will provide all the solution. But AI assistant, actually the AI won't tell us a definite answer. They are going to guide us, ask us a lot of questions. So we are looking to, in terms of the students' working quality, the human AI collaboration interaction, the physiological arousal, and people's perception. So we are working in this area. I think the paper is already submitted, not published yet, but just to give you some ideas on the summary of the findings. So how we collect the data. This is empatica, is the physiological arousal. Yeah, because people is nowadays social media saying, oh, the AI is more friendly than human. AI is able to provide a lot of emotional value to me. It's more friendly. But actually, we are going to see what are the results. Okay. So, and we're also looking into the human AI interaction and the perception. Yeah. Just give you some summary of the result. First of all, the comparing the student artifact generated, those two AI conditions is higher than no AI, but there's no difference between the two AI conditions. Two AI condition means one is with our fine-tune, the other one without fine-tune. Okay, that is the first finding. So AI helps, but whether using fine-tuned or not fine-tuned, no differences. The second one, we are looking at the human AI interaction part. So we found actually students are knowledge construction are promptly fine-tune the AI, they are much better. A lot of critical thinking involved because they need to assume their agency. I think that is not a surprising finding for us, but we all know that is an important indicator for learning. So the third one is a pedagogical engagement, a bit surprising. Actually, if we are looking at, we are analyzing the text, yes, AI is more friendly than human talk. Actually, yeah, because we are no AI means here is a collaborative learning context. I'm collaborating with AI, I'm collaborating with a human. If we are looking at the text, AI is more friendly. But if we are looking into physiological arousal, actually, if as long as I know I'm talking about the AI, talking to an AI, the physiological arousal, emotional arousal is very low. It's a surprising finding for us. As long as we know it is AI. If it is a human, even though that human didn't praise me, provide me a lot of emotional support, but as long as I know that's a human, my physiological arousal is higher than a machine. Yeah. Last but not least, interesting finding for us. We do traditional interview to the students. You see how students perceive about the usefulness of AI for their learning. Which condition is higher? Students perceive non-fine-tuned is more helpful for them because they feel it helps with the quality of the work. So you see, this humans active knowledge kind of belief. They are not looking to learning as a processes. They are looking to learning as outcome. So they prefer, we ask them, what's your preference? They said, I don't want AI to ask me so many questions. I just want AI to provide me with the answer. Yeah, that's our higher education. So this is something we can look into. Okay, so with this kind of findings, I'm doing a lot of design-based research project by developing new system. So new system is called the peer fraction PET. So it is a peer feedback system, but in the peer feedback system, I have a lot of generative AI, but I fine-tune those AI. It looks like very promising, right? But during our school-based research, we found out the school children, why your AI is very different from ChatGPT? ChatGPT is more straightforward. If I ask a question, they will tell me, your GPT. They keep asking me questions. I think, okay. So we found, because we get their screen capture, we found they start use this AI. They use their own ChatGPT to get the answer. Okay. So that's another interesting thing, right? Because it is both available for them, but they still prefer that. What does it mean for us? Okay. So I will skip this part due to the time constraints. Okay. So just want to currently, I'm doing another project, but I don't have empirical data yet. We are looking into neural activation. So when I what kind of AI, my brain activation is very high. Am I offloading? And what is a good time to unloading them back? Yes, this group of learning scientists, I'm not thinking of offloading. We are thinking certain things we need to unloading back to them so that they are learning. Because for learning happens, they need to go through a certain level of disfluency. If there's no disfluency, everything is so fluent, learning is not happening. So we are looking to that area. So using multimodal learning analytics, using FBS, EEG, eye tracking, Impartica, and also traditional method works very well. You see the interview finding is the most interesting finding so far. Okay. So we have found a lot of AI in our school classroom, my own teaching, and those are school teachers we have been working with. So finding is very easy, right? We just go to the ChatGPT, add some kind of instruction to those ChatGPT. So as you can see, we have in our LTU's learning management system, there is an AI tool. So yes, every day I'm finding my AI. So currently, many students, graduate students, they need to have a large amount of reading, right? But I find many of them, they skip the reading, they come to my class. So now I give them a choice. You either read the 50-page or interact with AI for 30 rounds. Because I'm able to see their interaction with this. Why not 20? Because 20 is too easy for you. Because you say hello, and the ChatGPT also say hello, it becomes one round. Yeah, they keep saying, how are you feeling? It could be another round. I think 30 have to be 30. So I find this AI because I feed the 50 pages to this AI, my instruction to AI, make sure within 30 rounds of interaction with the students, you are able to provide more comprehensive information from these 50 pages to the learner. Of course, if the students are reading by themselves, the level of human agency is the highest. But now is, I think, I'm better than none, right? Because many of them, they don't have time to read it. Yeah. And in the student learning space, teacher can also fine-tune it just by putting instructions in different bars. There's another key, school AI. I'm not sure whether it's also very popular in Korea. It's very popular in Singapore because it's a free for educator. We can fine-tune the AI. So now I fine-tune the AI exit ticket. So what's mean? At the end of all my lesson, I'm not taking any attendance, but students have to interact with the AI to do the reflection. So my students are saying, Professor, why this AI doesn't allow me to exit? I think because your reflection is not deep enough. The AI said you are not deep enough, right? So they need to continue to do that. Okay, so that's the last slide of mine. So currently we feel as a researcher in this area, I think currently we are still focusing too much on cognitive learning, on content knowledge. In the future, we do feel we need to have more social emotional learning solutions or value education or well-being for our learners. So it's a move from intellect to wisdom. Yeah, this is for human-centered AI for education. And also, AI is supposed to be more customized and personalized. But again, looking at our current AI solution, it is still more catered for mainstream students. We didn't pay much attention to wider spectrum of learning needs. So the long tail area should be our next few years of focus and our effort will go into. Okay, so that's I think, yeah. What is this? This is my real last slide. Yeah, Charles Dickens, right? Charles Dickens, the novel Tale of the Two Cities. This is the first paragraph of the whole novel. But I feel each time I'm thinking about the AI for education, this always comes to mind. It was the best of times. It was the worst of the times. It was the age of wisdom. It was the age of foolishness. I think I want to read out everything. But with the slides, I end my sharing here. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Professor Chen. That was amazing lecture about the AI implemented educations, and thank you for sharing your reasons, researches. So why don't we have some question and answer session? So if you have any question, you can just raise your hand, and if you guys are in Zoom, you can just type your question on the chat. Any questions? Yes.
Well, thank you for
talk. It was very interesting to hear the roots of works that you did in the area of CSCL. My question is quite specific to the last study that you said is not published yet, on the, for example, on when to intervene with AI. That one condition you had, you compared fine-tuned AI with non-fine-tuned AI, and there was no difference between that in terms of outcome. In terms of what outcome? In terms of outcome? Yeah. So can you tell me more about what types of fine-tuning is there, and because I found that we don't speak to.
The context of the study actually is peer feedback. So how to provide the constructive feedback to others. So the context of the students' learning is you need to provide constructive feedback from other people. So then we have AI support. The AI will suggest revise their whole feedback, and they can decide whether they take it or not. And we also have another fine-tuned AI. They are following the Confucius principle, but to operationalize, we have a lot of specific design principle. First principle, don't tell that the answer, don't revise them. That's ask them to reflect the first, providing some kind of rubrics and criteria, or don't do things. So that's but we also notice that adult learners, they are not patient. If they are expecting that answer after 3 months of interaction, they will give up. So after 3 months, we can slowly review more report to those learners.
So you're in that study, the subjects are adult learners rather than youngers.
Yeah, that study is a lab-based study. So we are recruiting university students. Yeah. So we found actually there was not much knowledge construction happening if without our fine-tuning way. But it's not surprising because we have fine-tuned the AI, have a lot of dialogue with the students. So the processes, learning is happening in fine-tuned AI, but the learning is not happening very often without the fine-tuning way, because they usually either take or make minor adjustments. They just take this up their learning. So what concerns us is people's mindset. They don't appreciate this kind of challenging process of learning. They are expecting better outcome and scope. But I think AI will even make this kind of mindset worse now.
Thank you.
Thank you for the question.
Thank you so much. Any other questions? Yes,
Do you need mic?
I think I don't need it.
This is not long enough.
I want to give the 2 questions. First one is a little bit small question, and second one is big question. The small question is this: how about what is the opinion of parents or other teachers in Singapore related to AI education? Because in South Korea, parents are also important stakeholders in education. So we have to coordinate all opinions. So that is one of the small questions. And the big question is related to the augmentation. Yes, augmentation. I don't know how to speak in English, so I question to ChatGPT. To enhance or augment human capabilities, it seems it's essential that individuals already possess some level of foundation skill, because multiplying anything to 0, that it results in 0. So like that, how can we make the students build their own basic competence to live without AI or with AI?
Okay. Thank you for the question. Yeah. So I answer the first one first. Parents is an important stakeholder as well in Singapore as an AI for education. So Ministry of Education, there is a guideline, and they make the public available. Parents' education in using generative AI for your children. Yeah, there is a guideline on this. Yeah. So and also in terms of those guardrail in the AI for students' learning space, there was a lot of feedback from the parents as well. So it is a part of the important agenda items for Ministry of Education. The second question, yeah, I will see it is a very big question. I don't think AI can solve all the problem. I think here, as I said, is a teacher's design, our intentional design. We need to fine tune it. And I do feel the age appropriate guideline is one way we might be able to address this kind of problem. Students, they need to build up the foundational cognitive thinking and competency first before we just throw them into the deep water of the AI. They need to develop the certain level of cognition and metacognition in terms of using AI for teaching and learning. I think that is a part of human teachers and human parents need to do rather than leave everything to AI. I think our mindset still, we open-minded, embrace AI, but be cautious. This is our disposition towards AI. Thank you.
So the human teacher never vanished.
No, never. Yeah, because many things, as I said, emotional learning, value those things, contextualize the things, inspire students' curiosity, being a role model for them, human touch, human heart, which is so important for human well-being. This part AI cannot do it. And we are not expecting AI to replace us for that. AI should make our life happier and better rather than make us at the end become all very cold. Everything becomes efficiency. Right? So that is may not be what we see our future will be for our children. No, I don't think that is a good word. Thank you.
Thank you for the question and thank you for the heartwarming answers. Because some of us are already a teacher, so that's meaningful. Okay, any other question? I think we have a few more minutes for the questions. Okay, yeah.
First of all, thank you for the lecture. So, actually, I'm interested in fine-tuning AI for education. But as I understand, you did a lot of fine-tuning for education. But I think there is always a problem for it. The major problem is about the data. The data for education is always little and hard to collect. So my question is aren't there any obstacles for collecting this data, and how did you overcome those obstacles?
Okay, yeah, interesting question. But I've been through this kind of challenges. Previously, before ChatGPT time, if I want to use machine learning, I really have to train the AI by ourselves. So a large amount of the data is a must. Now, fine-tune means we don't have to rely on large amount of data. Because those generative AI, they have been used a large language model to develop. But what we did, we just fine-tune based on what we believe should learning look like. I don't have to feed a lot of data to AI. I'm just telling AI what you need to do when you are interacting with the students. So it's more like a learning sciences principle rather than feed them with the data. It is a learning scientist role. But let's say it's a data means different things to different people. Data for Ministry of Education, when they are designing or redesigning the AI, they are feeding a lot of students, local Singapore students, local data to train that AI. So that's why I'm using the words very careful. Redesign AI and fine-tune AI are totally different things. Redesign AI is an AI scientist's job. I don't have expertise. I'm not saying that is we should do that. But I'm a learning scientist. I'm in social science. I feel what we can do, even human teacher who is not in this area, they still can do something by fine-tuning the AI, just by giving a few instructions. And those instructions, we can scaffold teachers how to give instructions. We don't even go to prompt engineering, that kind of level. Actually, a lot of things are still learning sciences principles. So that's where I'm coming from. So in my fine-tuning, I'm not feeding students data, but sometimes I'm feeding them with my learning materials. I'm feeding AI, for example, there was one session about NTU's ethical guideline for research, human subject research, because each university might have a different guideline. Each country might have a different guideline. So I cannot just use generative AI too liberal to interact with students. So that's why I'm feeding the 50-page PDF document. The PDF document is NTU's policy on ethics, research ethics. So my instruction to AI, I set a boundary for you. The information you provided cannot go beyond this document. So that is what I'm feeding to AI, but it's not a learning data, learner's data. Under the learner's data, we have to be very, very careful because there's also guidelines, right? So if our own university is a generative AI tool, I can put some of the things there. Let's say ChatGPT, we're not allowed to put any student's data there. Yeah, because it might copyright issue or students' confidentiality privacy issue. So those things we have to be very, very careful. The schoolai.com actually is a commercial platform. So even though I like to use very much, but I never ask the students to put their real name. Yeah, so I think that kind of fine-tuning is more challenging for us. So I would say this is a two different ways. Fine-tune, no need to have a lot of students' data, but you need to have a very good understanding of learning sciences. Hope I answer your question.
Thank you so much. Any questions? Okay, I think we can wrap up the Q&A session. Thank you so much for amazing seminars and then amazing Q&A session. Please give Professor Chen another big hand for that presentation.
Thank you so much for your participation.
Yeah.
And feel free to contact me in case your research team also look into some of the issues. We are getting started in many areas. Yeah, but I feel as long as we keep moving forward, we should be able to make a good progress. Okay.
Yeah, if you have more questions, you can always ask questions to Professor Chen after the seminar, or you can email her about your question. Okay. So for the next, we have important stuff which we ask for the satisfaction survey. So please take a QR code here and then take the survey, please. And if you're more interested, we can always have a website to give you more information. And also we have Instagram and also YouTube, so you can just Google it to find our website and find more information. Okay, so I think this is gonna be all for our seminars. Thank you for your participation today, and then we look forward to seeing you at the future events. Thank you so much.